What's up, DBs? Coach Felipe with First Down DBs, and for this week's video, we're going to be talking about and looking over some one-on-ones from the Under Armour All-American camp that happened about 2 weeks ago. Pretty recent. Just looking at a couple reps. I'm going to play them full speed, and then we'll analyze it, talk through the details, right? Getting into the nitty-gritty. I'm going to be nitpicky. Everything matters, especially with our technique as DBs, because we are always behind the 8 ball. We're always having to react to what the receiver gives us, so we have to be technically sound. So looking over the technique. So looking at this first play, we're in a soft press look. Clamps all day, right? That was a great play by him. Soft press. I know it's soft press because he's bailing out, right? He's giving ground. He's giving them that little wiggle room. If we're in hard press, we're right in this guy's face, and we're working laterally. The moment a DB starts inching back and continues to inch back, that's a key tell of soft press. But let's talk about the technique. He does a great job motoring back, kick stepping to the release, right? And forcing the wide release, right? Even a soft press, even though we're not working in the lateral plane, right? And I'm staying just flat, not flat-footed, but on a flat line. Soft press, same thing. My technique can still force this guy to widen. That's exactly what I want to do. I do like here his feet, quick off the ground, right? He's not pedaling. It's just a quick 1-2, 1-2, and then getting that offhand, the right hand involved instead of the near hand. The moment we shoot with this, we lock up our hips, right? Now, let's be realistic. There will be times where we just naturally react and we shoot that near hand. But if I can shoot the near hand and immediately replace it with the offhand, I'm still in a great spot. And then from here, he does a great job squeezing. He's on this guy's... He's chest to chest right here, and then he ends up man turning and snipes at the football. This is my favorite part about this rep is the fact that he snipes at it. You don't see him swat down like a volleyball player. He snipes it, is aggressive to the point of attack, gets the PBU. Great play by that DB there. Looking at Zion Ferguson here. Another good rep, right? We're an off man here, so there's typically about anywhere from 7 to 8 yards, 5 to 8, 5 to 10, right? Depends on what the coach you're playing for teaches you, but we're off, right? Does a great job. He's giving us a scooch technique. So we're either work a scooch technique or a slow pedal out. But remember, we don't want to just pedal and weave, right? Gain depth just to gain depth. We want to do it to match this guy's tempo. So I have to be able to read this guy's tempo effectively as well as his release. Right here, we get an outside release. He outside stems and then works straight vertical, and then this DB does a great job matching it, right? He's not overly excited, like he's not pushing back. You're going to see he's tempoing out. That's a great job by him, and this is my favorite part of this rep. You're going to see this receiver gives us an indicator, and that indicator is that chest. He's leaning here, right? Leaning out the first 5 yards. Chest comes up. Look at the arms. They start swaying side to side. Those two indicators are key tells for a DB that this guy's about to break. And then understanding our breaking points, 5, 10, 15. You're going to see Zion's technique here. I'm a big fan of this. He kind of tempos down. He pitter-patters, right? He's in a smooth scooch. Right here, he's starting to tempo because he sees that cue. He's ready for the break and then doing a great job keeping his hips square and not biting on this little rocker step inside to try to open up the outside for this receiver. He does a great job. I apologize for this coach that's in the way. But DB does a great job staying squared, not biting on the bait and making a play here. Bad ball, but I think wherever the ball was placed, he is in a perfect spot to make a play on it. Great job there by Zion Ferguson. Right here. I put this play on here because this is the reality of the DB position, right? We might get cooked off the line, right? We might get beat off the line, but it's all about how we finish. We're not always going to finish, or we're not always going to start off great, right? But everything's about finishing. We have to finish, and this guy does exactly that. He gets beat off the line. Now, I'll tell you now, it's because his feet are wide. You're not in an explosive stance when your feet are this wide. You have to work a read step. Technique is the most common one. In some DBs in hard press, you'll see them kind of pulse their feet up and down. But the key thing here is in hard press, I'm looking to be aggressive, right? But my feet got to come first. My feet have to be activated. They have to move once this receiver moves. Once he moves, I got to read step or use that little pulsing technique, right? Get my feet moving up and down. Not fast, but just moving them, right? I got to prep myself for any type of movement this guy's going to do. And then we lunge at him here, which a good receiver is going to swipe us by. And then let's talk about phase 2 here, recovery phase. He is out of phase. Guess what he does? He dials in on that near hip and tracks it down. He's got great acceleration here, getting to the hip. But I do like the fact, too, that he does not peek back right, ever throughout the entirety of this second phase of this rep right here. He is locked in on this receiver, reading his body language. When I'm out of phase, I have to read this body language. I have to see two things. Is he decelerating or is he continuing to accelerate full speed? And watching the hands, right? So if he decelerates, that's the key tell for me that the ball's underthrown, or it's going to be a back shoulder. And then obviously I got to get a good read on the hands because that's going to tell me when the ball is coming down. He does exactly that. And again, it's hard to see, but he snipes at the football and doesn't swat down at it, playing through their hands. Great job by this DB finishing the play. Another hard press look here. We get beat inside, which we really shouldn't. And what happens here is this split second in time, you're going to see, watch his feet. Both of them came off the ground just a split second, but I promise you, since we're behind the 8-ball always as a DB, this matters. This time matters. Even if it's 0.001 second, however long, it matters because this guy is still in movement, right? So it's super, super important that we work a read step. A read step, just simply placing this left foot, right? Matching the release. If this guy's going to step, which way does he step first? I would say he steps right. So I could re-step with my right. Depending, it's hard to tell what leverage he is here. It looks like he's just head on. So I want to mirror the read step to his movement. So if I step with my right here, just a little 6-inch step outside of where I'm at right now, I'm still in an explosive stance to where I can push laterally, right? We're in hard press. We want to force this guy to widen out one way or the other. And if he comes straight to us, then yes, I can involve my jam. Now here with his jam, the problem with this jam here is there's no shock through it. You're going to see the elbow, it's still flexed, or it's still, yeah, flexed. It's never fully extended, therefore he never fully shot and used all his potential with his arms, right? We have to provide shock. We have to disrupt this guy now. That's why we're in hard press. We have an aggressive mindset in hard press. Fix it at the line. You win at the line, you're most likely going to win the rep almost all the time. Looking at this next rep. Sorry, I don't think I've been playing it full speed through first. Great recovery here. So we get another hard press look. It's hard to tell what happens with the feet here, but this is what I mean by the read step. You see this little step right here. If we pause it, that's a read step. You're going to see he's not out of his frame. He's perfectly in frame. He is still able to move explosively side to side. Now, where we go wrong here is we continue to step this way. Obviously, remember, a receiver is going to lie to you. The first step is never truly typically where he's going to go. So understanding that, not taking the bait, take a little read step and then be ready to shoot your hands, because at that moment, the receiver's probably eating up your cushion already, right? Hard press, we're looking to be aggressive, but my feet got to come first. Now, he does a great job recovering and understanding the 75% rule. If there's an inside release, 75% of the time, it's going to be an inside breaking route some way, somehow. And then again, sniping at the ball here. Does a great job sniping and not swatting. I promise the details matter. Looking at this last rep, we get beat inside again. And the thing with this rep is the fact that we've opened up our hips to the sideline. Now, he does a great job not opening up the gate, right? He didn't cross over. That left foot didn't cross over. But I want to try to keep my hips square to this receiver, at least closer to his near hip, the near hip that's towards me, rather than opening my hips up straight towards the sideline, right? Because he's still in front of me. As long as he's in front of me, I can make a play downhill, and I do that best by keeping my hips square. And then again, we could probably, this is me being a little nitpicky, but this happens a lot, right? I'm going to shoot with the hand that he is going towards, but even with that, I can provide shock, right? I can slow him down, really punch him in the chest, and then replace with the offhand, and I put myself in a better position to recover here. Now, I understand one-on-ones are a prized possession and way easier for the receiver than it is on the DB, but working the technique and fundamentals will help us in situations like this when we're on an island. But I hope y'all learned something. I hope y'all liked the video. Comment what you want to see next. Follow the socials, and as always, stay blessed and keep grinding.